to my YouTube channel. My name is Cassie, also known as KnittaCass. This is my YouTube channel where I talk about all the things that I'm making, almost exclusively knitting. I do want to learn crochet, and I've done a little bit of crochet, but I don't spend very much time on it. So maybe in the future you'll see some more of that. I do have a lingering crochet blanket that I have been getting the itch to pick up. So maybe in an episode or two you might see a little bit of that. Otherwise, it's exclusively knitting here. I live on a small farm in Vermont, and I live here with my two younger children. I have two older children who don't live with me anymore, and my wonderful husband. We have a menagerie of animals. We have three cats now. 3 cats, 2 dogs, 2 bearded dragons, and axolotl. That's a pretty busy household. So I'm doing this without any notes. I just actually have my act together today. I've already done my schoolwork, and the kids are on vacation. One of them's not feeling well, so the house is just kind of really mellow, and it's a really good time to hop on here and catch up with you guys. I just started going back to school for my bachelor's, and so I haven't quite figured out what my groove will be for when I do my podcasting. Ideally, I'd like to get back to the every other week. Last month, actually, I think the last time I podcasted was January, and I had just started classes in January. It was a pretty heavy duty class, took a lot of my time, so I didn't have much knitting or any real updated content to show you. And then in February, I had some personal things going on that really took every ounce of energy that I had. So here I am. I'm not sure if you'll see me once a month for a monthly recap or if it'll be every other week, but bear with me. And if you're a new viewer, thanks for checking me out. I hope you enjoy it. Please like and subscribe if you do. And to my returning viewers, thank you so much for spending time with me and giving me a chance to get to know you all. I really appreciate it. So I do have one finished object, and I showed it on my last podcast. This is a quart of Mist and Fury. It is a cowl. It's not exclusively a pattern. It was made using the Summer Doodle deck from Pacific Knit Co. And it is based on the book series A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah G. Maas, or it might be J. Maas. I'm not sure. It's a very popular series, and it's making one of the big cities in there called Valaris. So it's using some of the motifs from the Summer Doodle deck in a certain order to make the city of Valaris. And it was a kit by Fangirl Fibers. So this is the finished product, and it's a little stretched out on the top, but it is the same, even though it doesn't quite look like it. I think my floats might have been a little tighter on the bottom, but it'll block out nicely. So it's just got this nice neutral color. I've got the pine trees, mountains, which start at some stars. Then I have some stars. And then this is the river motif, but it's supposed to look like wind gusts. And then some more stars. And the thing that I did is I inverted the pattern. Maybe invert is not the right word. I flipped the card upside down. So this is knitting the card in order. And then I flipped the card upside down. So I kind of knitted it in reverse order. And I really like the way that it looks. I can't wait to block it and give it a try. And I really should do that soon because it's winter in Vermont, so winter's gonna last a million more months. Today is March 3rd. Yeah, so it's gonna last a while, but we're having like glimpses of warmer days that are with some sunshine, and we're starting to think about spring. So I have to remind myself that it is still winter and I should block this and wear it. That is the only finished object I have. And for whips, let's see, I have a whip that I may or may not have shown you on the last podcast in this giant watermelon tote bag. By the way, don't let my tank top deceive you. It is very cold today. Sun is out, very shiny. It looks like spring from inside. Super cold outside. But I'm going through some menopause changes, and I just have hot flash after hot flash today and just can't seem to regulate my temperature. So yeah, I'm just dressed a little weird today. So this is my Starflake. It's a little tangled. Okay, let's see if I'm in a place where I can show you. Yes, I am. All right, so you start, this is the Starflake by Stephen West, and you start it with these parallelograms that kind of make it look like a star when they're all pointed out. And then you've got some, you know, striping here, and then you go into some brioche, which is super fun. And I have been learning about increases and decreases. You can see a little mistake there, but I didn't figure I'd go fix it. Let's see if we can find another spot. That looks better. Yeah, so super, super fun. Learning a lot. I do have a book. I didn't bring it here. It's called Brioche Basics. I'll write the author down below. I got it at Rhinebeck, and it's been really helpful because it has step-by-step instructions plus photos of both English and continental knitting on how to do increases and decreases. She has some patterns in there, but I've basically been using it as a Bible for increases and decreases. And if I've been knitting on it for a few minutes and doing a couple repeats of the increases and decreases, I can, you know, it'll say like brioche, right-sided decrease or something. And I'll be like, okay, I remember how to do it. But I set this down yesterday, and if I go to pick it up today, I'll have to refer to the book for the first several rounds of increases and decreases. Let's see. Yeah, I've just got a bunch of random stitch markers. Most of them are Christmas themed because I was working on it a lot around Christmas. And a lot of them are from Adore Knits. However, this one, this is Bernie's Mitten. This is from the Corner of Craft. And then I've got these cute little sheep stoppers, and I have no idea where I got them from. I'm making this out of a Knit Picks Brava Sport Weight in the colorway Celestial and the colorway Sky. And I just was going through and organizing this behind me. Last time I podcasted, I believe I had it set up, but it fell. So it is now set up in a different way. And I was going through my Rhinebeck basket, and I found some of the stitch markers I haven't used yet. So I got these cute little penguins wearing winter gear that I'm going to put on my Starflake somewhere because they're so darn cute. All right, so that's whip one. I only have 2 whips, so my second whip is in this bag. This is made by Sew Melissa Crafts. I'll link her down below. It's this really fun Valentine heart bags. It's got drawstring and really heavy duty straps here. And on the inside, let's see if I can show you, it has a little clip and some pockets. Really cool. So in here, I have a pair of vanilla socks. So these are my pair of vanilla socks, and they're out of the same skein, but when I divided it into 2 cakes, one was like heavily saturated with color and the other one is not. So it's quite a difference. The colors are really fun. This is from Yarnable. The colorway is Neon Graffiti. For the heel and toe, I'm gonna do purple, and I got this purple, I think it's from Rising Tide Fiber Co. I got a package of some assorted really bright minis. And so I've got the heels done, and I've got about 6 more rows of this sock, and then I will be doing the toes, and I will be doing them in this color. I have a couple shark stitch markers from Wee Ones, and then I have a chocolate from Wee Ones, a little bite out of it, and Luna Lovegood. This one is from Simply Serving. And she is just super cute. I also have a Harry Potter one and a Ron Weasley one. So those are almost done. And then I have plans to cast on the Twisted Tea shorts by the Little Wolf Knits. temporarily I have the stuff in this bag. This is a bag made by the mother of Wee One's Crafts, and she does not have a store. But what I'm going to do, because this is a bigger project, is I'm going to put it in the Sweetheart bag. And I'm going to transfer my socks over to this bag if I don't finish them today. So let's see if I can find you a picture. So this is the Twisted T-shorts. I'll put a better picture in because if I search through the pattern and find a nicer photo to show you, I might show you some of the instructions on accident. So it's the Twisted T-shorts by Little Wolf Knits, and I am using yarn from Yarn Cafe Creations. And it is on her Biscotti sock, 85 Superwash Merino, 15% nylon, and it's in the colorway Azalea. And look how cute these are. They look like those little sleeves that you put on a coffee cup, and they have snaps. Super cute. So I do have the first cake wound up. Look how beautiful that is. I thought I was getting like a hot pink. I don't think it was like she didn't show her photos well. I think I just wasn't really paying attention. But I've got this sweet like kind of bubblegum pink, which I really love. So I've got that set aside. I'll be casting that on hopefully today. I've got the second skein in here. It's all wrapped up. So hoping to cast that on after I'm done videoing. And then for acquisitions, I have a couple things. One was a gift given to me by the Wandering Pearl, and I thought that was super sweet. It is a Notions pouch. It's got this nice little clip here. Let's see if I can get it to work. Oh, I was doing it the wrong way. So it's got a nice little clip here so you can clip it in your bag. And it's got the see-through like vinyl. It's got this little zipper. So you'll be able to see all your notions that you got in it, and it's really sturdy. So I'm going to find the notions I need for my shorts and put it right in this project. And then I'll show you February's Yarnable. I did receive March, but I won't show it on this podcast. I'll probably show it in the next podcast. So in April, this was the yarn, or excuse me, in February, this was the yarn. Really pretty. It is showing up true to color, and it is Cupid's Bow, and it's on their plush sock, 85 Superwash Merino, 15% nylon. And that has some goodies that always come in this bag. It's a heavy duty bag that you can use for notions. So I have a bunch of these. And the extras were these heart coasters, a heart-shaped tea infuser, and this really like kind of squishy, rubbery feeling bag. This would be really good for change. Like when we go to the basketball games, I usually grab a lot of quarters for the popcorn. So this would be really handy to bring. You could use it as an Oceans pouch too if you wanted, but I instantly thought of a change purse. So that's really pretty. I'm not sure what I'm going to make with it. And I'm going to put it in. This cubby is essentially just Yarnable, except I have a pink that was special to me, and then the Lemon Speckles colorway that's special to me. So I'll put this up here. I will do a little video of what this looks like. It's not anything like super fancy, but it's organized and it makes me feel good. Put that right there. And that's it for the knitting content. I don't have a lot because I haven't had a lot of time. So also I was going through my knitting patterns and I found a sweater called the Stardust sweater. If you've been here for a really long time, I did make like all the way to like mid chest, and it was made out of this really beautiful pink and some pink mohair held double, and it had this really nice kind of glow to it, and it's kind of cable-y with some really subtle bobbles, really well designed. But when I was making it, I didn't know a lot about how to choose the appropriate size based on ease. I didn't understand the relationship. So I made exactly what my bust size will be as a finished measurement rather than what the bust size with the positive ease should have been. Not sure if I can make that make sense, but essentially it fit like very tightly. Like I wouldn't have been able to move. I could get it on, but I wouldn't have been able to go about my day in it. So I ripped it all out and I haven't cast it on because I completely forgot about it. It is a pattern by Dragon Horde Yarn. That will be my next sweater that I cast on. Excuse me. However, with spring coming and me every year saying that I'm going to make a couple tank tops for summer, I'm actually going to jump on it and make a couple tank tops. So I think I'm going to do the linen top and the Cosmolite. I'll put the pictures in here. So I think I'm going to cast those on. I'm going to work on the shorts and I might just pick up the sweater like later on in the summer so that I have it for fall. I'm not sure. I'm not too stressed about the sweater, but I definitely want to make it and I would need to order yarn for it. So life things, my 16-year-old Wyatt just won playoff game number 2 for basketball. So tonight is playoff game number 3 and we're very excited. If he wins this game, then he will go to the final round. So we're really hopeful for that. So that's pretty exciting. He is the one who's sick right now, so it's probably not, I'm not sure if he's going to play. I would like him to stay home and rest. He would like to play, so he's probably going to force himself to play, and I'll go watch it because he's a stubborn 16-year-old, and this is a pretty big game. And then Weston, not a whole lot going on with him. He's doing really well at school. He was making this really cool school project where they had to write a comic book about like the agricultural revolution. And it was really fun to be able to see how his brain works and how he took that assignment and made it his own, and to watch his computer skills. So that was pretty fun. We did some homework together the other day next to each other at the island. Yeah, so that's fun. And the other two, nothing to report. They're just doing their own thing and happy and healthy. So that's great. Chris had a serious injury with his finger in December. I'm not entirely sure, but it was pretty gnarly. He is a lineman, so he was in a bucket up by the power lines, and the bucket started to drop and it pinched his finger between the side of the bucket and the power lines, which are really thick and heavy. And it was, painful. So out of instinct, he pulled backward and just about took his finger off, except for the bone. So that was pretty gnarly. So he's doing some physical therapy, and they have these really cool things that it's like a piece of silicone maybe, and he kind of takes it and rubs it from the center of his scar outward in all directions. And the therapist said that that's supposed to take the scar tissue and make it not stick to the bone and kind of level out the scarring, and it has made a huge difference. Really exciting. He still doesn't have full range of motion for his finger. It's a lot better. They're not sure he'll get full range of motion back, but otherwise it's really not affecting him, and he's doing well. It's really nice to see it recover so quickly. And then I'm gonna try to say this without crying. I lost my basically best friend last week, and so it's been a little rough, and I know that she would want me to try to just keep doing my stuff that I would normally do and not turn into what I call a turtle and just kind of hibernate and cry. So I did a little bit of that, of course, but I am doing my best to do the things I would normally do and trudge forward. So that was a little rough. It took a lot of my energy in February. It was not a great situation, but She's no longer in pain, and things worked out okay. So yeah. Anyways, so that's like been the big thing in the background that's been distracting me, I guess. And so part of sitting down to podcast today was to try to just do my normal knitting things. Yeah, I don't want to say too much about it because I'll definitely cry, but I will miss her, and she really made a big impact in my life and really made it a lot better. And I have a lot of great memories that I will carry forward. Okay, that's enough of that. So other life stuff, nothing really going on. It's March in Vermont, so it, on a good day, looks like spring outside, and then you step outside and freeze to death. And we'll probably get a bunch more snow. We've had a lot of snow this winter. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do gardening. I did gardening last year and did really, really good, and then fizzled out just before harvest season. I had issues with my tomatoes. They were just too wet no matter what I did. We did have another flood last year. So I'm not sure if I'm going to put the effort into gardening, but I'm trying to think of, spring thoughts. What are we going to do in the spring, and some fun things that we might do this summer. So I'm really, really thinking ahead, thinking some warm things. Yeah, I hope that you guys are doing well, and I hope that maybe you're starting to think of some happier, lighter things that might be bringing you joy, or maybe a season change is coming and you're getting excited for, warmer weather, which usually makes a lot of people happy. And I hope that you're doing something to fill your cup. In terms of mental health, I usually do a spice at the very end. I didn't really put a whole lot of thought into it before I sat down to podcast. And so something that I talked to a friend about recently was reflecting on like something during the day that you learned. And it's kind of a form of gratitude in a way, but it's also a way of congratulating yourself and taking pride in your hard work. So I would recommend doing that. So, today, or even just for a few days, it would be a really good idea to sit down towards the end of the day. I like to reflect around dinner time and just think, like, what did I learn today? And I think that might bring you some joy. It's been bringing me some joy. So with that, I hope that you have a wonderful, however many days it is until I see you again, and that you have some happy stitching, and take care of yourself. Bye. So this is my new yarn organization. Some of it's really organized, some of it's not. So here I have some mandala cakes for the crochet blanket I'm making, some fingering. I think this is actually sport weight yarn, some special yarn that doesn't really quite have a place, and this is some patterned sock yarn. And then this is in the wrong place. This is leftover fingering weights. This is fingering weight yarn of a variety types. This is some more special yarn. I've got some cotton here. I've got some loop yarn that I haven't figured out a project for. I got some special yarn from a friend that came from a different country. I think it came from Italy. And then I've got some mohair. I've got my wool of the Andes, mostly yarnable. I do have a pink skein that's special to me, and then some Love and Speckles colorway here. This is where I have my minis. I have a bunch of bright minis right now, and then I have this special mini. It's dark omen yarn, handmade in Italy, and this is from a sweet friend named Karen, and she gave it to me in a Rhinebeck goodie bag. This is my dorky axolotl that I crocheted. This is my magic yarn ball. This is some beaded like eyes. This has got washcloth yarn. I've got my Swift and winder. This is some sock needles, random needles that are exchangeable. This has got my circular needles, and this has got my straight needles. And then I've got my blocking mats and some Notion pouch bags here, and some needle, what do you call them, like needle holders. They go over, like if you were using DPNs, they would go over that. And some yarn cozies. Then this is a bunch of scrap yarn. I have a whole bunch. We've got some elastic. This cute little sheep from my friend Karen, the one who gave me the yarn I just spoke about. And also from a different country. Let's see if I can put that back. This has got my Cozy Memories blanket. So I'm making a bunch of squares out of scrap yarn. And it's got a bunch of minis from my Harry Potter Advent. You can kind of see them-ish. I guess they're pretty buried. So I haven't moved those. This is my Rhinebeck basket. And then this has got all of my stitch, like progress keepers and stitch markers. It's got a colorwork ring in here, and then it's got some stoppers, needle stoppers, extra Notion kits. These are from Yarnable, a darning kit, and then a bunch of random accessories like Thanks I Made It, some hand balm, some needle gauge, stitch holders, try it on cords, measuring tape, kind of a catch-all there, and some hand salve, and that's that.